Well, and just like that, this area is all burnt. So you may never get this, but I do. We get home from vacation and my wife finds a few ants crawling in the kitchen. So I've got to be the bug man. Oh, I found them. There's not a ton of them, but they are in there. So we're gonna put out some bait, pull them out of the house, and spray the area around. Get rid of these freaking ants. It's like a mechanic's car. It's always broken, right? So I decided I wasn't going to mix up or use one of the guys' backpacks. So I put ant spray in just one of these little things. You can buy them at pretty much any hardware store. The problem is getting the spray. But I went ahead and mixed it, and I'm gonna spray, 5 or 6 feet in each direction. Make sure that we get the ground where they're coming up. So we're gonna take care of these suckers today. Trying to make a happy wife. So I was out treating the ants and the girls wanted to come and see me, huh? Hey, chickies. So they follow their leader. They're such good chickens. Come on, let's go back in your hut. Good morning. I spent the whole day yesterday burning the ridge line back there, and thank goodness I didn't get the fire department called on me. Everybody around was driving over to see what was going on because the smoke was everywhere. Anyway, so I'm headed up to the property. Actually, I got to get some burning done up there. We'll see if I set the world on fire while I'm up there. Odds are pretty good that I will, knowing me.
Lot of boring math later.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm up at my property. See my cabin and my tractor in the background. I got up here and decided I'd start on the smallest portion possible to get burning. It's probably a good thing I did. The wind picked up big time, and I had lit it from the backside over here. Well, the wind is coming this way, and it started to get away from me over here. I was able to put a stop to that. I just love that every time, I even watched the weather, and it said it wasn't going to be very windy, but I'm here, so of course the wind's going to follow me. It's my fault, I know. I usually just do dumb stuff, but you can see fire started to get away from me a little bit. What I learned with this is if I started actually from this backside, the wind won't pick it up and blow it this way. That'll kind of be a firewall, and it'll actually slowly move. I'm hoping not to burn down the whole world. I don't need everybody in the country hating me up here.
Well, it started as an illegal backyard burn and soon grew into this, a fast-moving fire that hops from house to house in one Columbia neighborhood.
911, where's the location of the emergency?
Soon, neighbors are calling 911.
We're gonna go over to the other area. I'll let you guys get to see what I'm doing. I just wanted to get this done and not make a total ass out of myself, though I feel like one. But when you're doing a big fire like this, absolutely make sure you put in a fire line. Of course, the wind has now died down. Oh boy. Well, that'll be good for the big stuff. All right, I don't know if you guys can see what I mean, but it moves a lot faster going with the wind, which makes a lot of sense. I just didn't know it was going to be so freaking windy up on top here. Anyway, so you let it just burn to the fire line, and then this will slowly burn against the fire or against the wind, which is probably the smart way to go about it. It's going to take a lot longer, but I don't think I'll have the fire department involved and Fish and Game and Department of Conservation, and I just don't need the feds knowing who I am. I'm sure they already do. Aside from just a smidge of wind, it's actually a really nice day. Okay, so you guys see all this switchgrass out here? I have acres and acres of switchgrass, which is great for the deer, habitat for them to bed, move through, feel safe, feel protected. But if I don't burn that every year, weeds and stuff grow in, and the switchgrass won't grow as tall. So I'm gonna have to set it all on fire. One of the times that the fire department was out at my house, I noticed that the firemen were using these rakes that have these thicker tines on them, and that allows them to get through the sticks and acorns and all that kind of stuff. So this week I had a couple of these rakes sent out to me just so I could do the property up here. Again, I thought I was going to do the trees, but found out I needed a little bit more to do a prescribed burn. So drink me some water, watch me a bird, go set the world on fire. Here we go. Now again, remember, I'm burning backwards, not with the wind. Woo! That doesn't take long to whip up. You can see how people, there's no way they could outrun some of these fires. I think about that Prescott fire and how all those firemen died. It's scary. Fire's not I mean, it's a funny thing and it's a fun thing. Most men, most boys, I should say, love it. Love fire, but it is a dangerous thing. Be careful out there. I can feel it sucking all the oxygen out of there. This is crazy. It just pulls. That fire's 20 feet away from me, 30 feet away, and it is scorching me. Hey, you know what's funny? As I'm burning this, I just heard some turkeys gobble down here. I know where I'm setting up tomorrow. Well, and just like that, this area is all burnt. I had a cedar tree right over here. Literally, I mean, it's a 15-foot tall tree. That tree was gone within 3 seconds. 3 seconds, I kid you not. Whew, scary stuff. All right, guys, got just a little bit left right here. A little bit over there that's still smoldering. I'm no worse for wear. I may have gotten 1st degree or 2nd degree burns there and on this arm where I'd cut the fire line really close to these juniper trees. I didn't have anywhere to run, and over on this backside over here I had to run through it to put something out before it got deep into these trees. If it got into these trees, I'd be hosed. I'd just have to tuck my head and call the fire department. But in Ryan's standards, that's nothing. That's minute. When I came over the hill here, there was actually about 15 turkeys right here. I think Caden will probably set up here tomorrow. Miles and I will be up on the front side, and we'll see if we can pull out the youth turkeys for 2014. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing, but I hear it's a lot of fun. I'm more of a big game hunter, so we'll see. Anyway, property's burned. We're ready for the spring planting. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's Tuesday, Travel Tuesday. I'm in Omaha. The saga continues with the Nissan. So I came to pick it up. It was ready. They actually replaced the torque converter, which was causing the vibration, which I'm super appreciative that they did that and figured it out and got it right when the Nissan dealership in Kansas City couldn't. But I picked it up, warmed it up, and then I got a code. So I had to pull it back in, and they're trying to figure it out. So I guess I'm driving Josh's truck again, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated.
346 minutes later.
Well, I don't know what to say. It's almost comical at this point. It's like Murphy's Law, or can you believe it? But I don't have my truck. Well, I don't have the Nissan, and I'm driving 3 hours back to Kansas City in Josh's truck. So what happened was I turned it on when I got up here this morning to warm it up, and I was going to move it to the shop to load up some stuff to bring back to Kansas City. So I let it run for 3 or 4 minutes, went out, and it had a check engine light, the automatic transmission check light that we've seen before, and gosh, so it doesn't drive right, it doesn't shift right. It's back in kind of like a safe mode. I don't know if it's safe mode or if it's just screwed up mode, but it doesn't know what to do. The torque converter, however, is smooth. I was super excited about that. I was not excited about the check engine light. So I guess I'll be back. I don't know. We'll see. We just want to get it right. We don't want to sell it the way it is and give somebody else a problem. We want to get it fixed and right and ship it off to somebody else. So on my way back to Kansas City, and it's a dark, gloomy day. I guess that explains why things didn't go right today. Okay, I'm trying to give you guys a Nissan update because I got a phone call that they found the problem, and apparently it's the same thing that we had last year. So one dealership doesn't want to fix the other dealership's mistakes, and that's why I'm driving it or taking it back and forth. But it's a problem. So I've got Nissan Consumer Affairs, opening the case number that I originally filed to get the transmission fixed. And I just had to give him a rundown. He's put me on hold for a minute. I don't know what he's going to do or if he's checking with somebody, but I don't know. This is not the truck's fault. I am determined that that's not the truck. This is the dealers and mechanics or somebody that's not trained right. So I'll keep you updated. So, are you busy?
Nope.
This Nissan is going to be the death of us. So if you remember back when we first got it back and I had a transmission code and I took it to Nissan in Lee Summit.
Yeah.
And they said, oh yeah, the guys that swapped out the motor damaged the harness and that's what the problem is. And so they fixed it, what, 3 times? So I said F it, and I called Nissan Consumer Affairs, gave them my old case number on the transmission. He pulled it up. I explained to him what was going on. He talked to his supervisor for a few minutes, then he came back, gave me a new case number, and said somebody will call me within 24 hours. I don't know if we want to have it worked on in Lee Summit. I think I'd rather leave it in Omaha, have them fix it right, and then go pick it up. Because at this point, I don't know if I trust Lee Summit at all.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it. I mean, they did crappy work and then they just pawned it off on everybody else.
Yeah. You can't make this crap up.
This is insane. I mean, this is movie-like.
Well, it's like one thing after another. I said, you're not going to believe this story, Mr. Habib, whatever your name is, but buckle up because I'm going to tell you. And he's like, well, why won't they fix it in Omaha? And I said, because they can't warranty it because it's workmanship issue. And he goes, oh, okay. He said, well, why didn't they fix it in Kansas City? And I said, that's a good question, but they said they couldn't fix it under warranty because of workmanship issue. And I said, do you see my problem? And he's like, yes, I see your problem. I'm like, meanwhile, if I have to drive up there and tow it back down here so that we don't damage another transmission, that's going to cost us a lot. I got done talking to Ryan. It's frustrating. This has gotten so crazy and unbelievable that maybe we need to tell the story. So I guess before we do that, we'll put it out there to you guys. If you want to have us start to finish kind of run down this whole dealership fiasco, we could. It would probably be a full-blown episode of what happened and what went wrong. And again, I don't blame the truck at this point. Here's where we ended up. So Consumer Affairs gave me a new case number. I have my old one, but they gave me a new one. They will call me back, they said, within a day, 1 business day usually. So I'm going to wait until I hear from them before I contact the dealership here. I'm hoping that they're going to authorize Omaha to do the repairs and that they'll just cover it. And that's probably what they'll do, and I'm hoping they will. The reason why I'm hoping that is because at this point I don't trust our local Nissan dealership here. If they had done this right from the beginning, I would have had my truck back. If they just replaced the harness instead of trying to fix it 5 times, then I would have had it for the river run. I would have been happy. Things would have gone the way they should have last year. Not that I'm not happy. I like my new truck. But just case in point on this, this thing has gone so sideways and so wild that it's unbelievable. So if you want to hear it in its entirety in one episode, let us know. Drop a comment. If you don't want to hear it, definitely let us know too, because we don't want to put something out there that's stupid that you don't want to watch. So we will update you guys at some point as soon as we know something. That's it for now.
Anyway, 20-foot wall of flames. Yeah, when it jumps that fire line, makes your butt pucker. I Now I singed a few hairs right here. Other than that, just a little bit of smoke inhalation. Man, when those flames get a whipping coming this way with the wind, if the flames get whipping coming this way with the wind, I don't have enough pee in my body to put that out. Also, just so you guys know, I smell like $1 million. If $1 million smelled like burnt grass.
And then by that time we'd driven it enough that it pissed off the transmission and cooked the transmission. Like one thing after another. I said, you're not going to believe this story, Mr. Habib, whatever your name is, but buckle up because I'm going to tell you.